Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well, and we look forward to a very special and beautiful Shabbos this week at Young Israel. If you're able to be here, I certainly encourage you to do so. Even more than a regular Shabbos, it's our welcome back Shabbos, the first Shabbos after the summer and Labor Day. Many people are returning, number of people have joined the community, and it'll be a very enjoyable Shabbos. Immediately after davening, there will not be a regular drasha, but instead we will celebrate our first ever Aleph Bet celebration with all the kindergarteners and first graders. Thank God, I believe there are 17 of them. We'll celebrate with them the beginning of their learning of the Aleph Bet, the letters, or putting them together to read, and the beginning of a lifelong journey of studying the Torah. And we'll celebrate with a modern twist, a modern version of an old Ashkenazi practice of giving a cookie dipped in honey to children when they begin to learn the Aleph Bet and to read and to study Torah. I think everyone who's involved, it will be a very sweet and inspiring program for everyone present, not just the children and their parents. Immediately after that, everyone will be invited to a Kiddush luncheon. Stay at Shul, make it lunch, spend time with your friends. The Kiddush luncheon is generously sponsored by Dr. David Lieberman in memory of his beloved father, Professor Robert Lieberman. Reuven ben Aaron David, whose Yortzeit was recently observed. And then after lunch, there'll be a very special learning opportunity, Elul themed, getting ready for Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur with YB educator Ora Weinbach. So come, there's a lot to enjoy, and it'll be enjoyable and inspiring Shabbos, hopefully for everyone. In this week's parsha, we have the mitzvah of Hashavas Aveda, returning lost objects. It is interesting, we have the overarching mitzvah of V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, to love your neighbor like yourself, to care for others, to be kind to others. But the Torah doesn't specify ever, the Torah itself, that there's a mitzvah to visit the sick or to console the mourner or to make the bride and groom happy on their wedding day. Those, of course, are ways to fulfill V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, but the Torah doesn't specify that specifically. However, the Torah does explicitly specify that there's a mitzvah of Hashavas Aveda, to return a lost object when you find one and you know how to return it. And in the Gemara and Midrashim, there are a number of stories of our sages who were very meticulous in this mitzvah, many times going beyond what their letter of the law demanded, and thus inspired their students and created incredible Kiddush Hashems even amongst their non-Jewish neighbors. And one very famous story involves the sage Shimon ben Shetach, and he had bought a donkey, without going through the beginning of the story, bought a donkey from someone not Jewish, and then found on the donkey that the owner had left a jewel, a pearl, a diamond. It was in some little sack attached to the animal, and the non-Jewish person had lost it. And the students of Shimon ben Shetach were first excited. They had a certain technical argument of why Shimon ben Shetach was not obligated to return that lost object. And they said, Rebbe, now you no longer have to work the very hard job that you do. He helped beat flax into linen. Now you can sell the jewel and you can sit and study Torah and teach us and not have to worry. But nevertheless, Shimon ben Shetach said that I bought the donkey, I did not buy the jewel, quote unquote, and he returned it. And when the Yishmaeli, that's who he bought it from, got his jewel back, he was so stunned, and he declared, Baruch Hashem Elokei Shimon ben Shetach. Blessed is the God of Shimon ben Shetach. It was so incredible that he would return such a large amount of money. Maybe there was no expectation at that time to return lost objects. He was so inspired. He recognized the truth of the Torah of Hashem. Only such a true God could command such a mitzvah, and only his true people could fulfill it in such an amazing way. What is so special about Hashavas Aveda compared to other Beit Adam L'Chavero mitzvos and acts of kindness? Hashavas Aveda is special because the person is not present. You're not caring for the person directly, you're caring for his or her stuff. But more than the person is not present, they're not asking you to help. It's one thing if you see someone in distress who has a problem to help them. But it's another thing, it's an even greater level, when the person is not around. Maybe they're not in town, maybe they moved away, maybe you only know them vaguely. And yet, nevertheless, even though they're not here, they're on your mind, you care about them, you feel that you have a duty to them, you're responsible to help them, we are connected. And even when I just see the lost object far away, the donkey or the ox straying in the other field, I'm obligated to proactively go there and get it. It's not just when I see a problem in front of me. It's not just when someone asks me for help, which of course we respond. But even when the person is not here, even when they don't ask me to help, I will proactively go and get their object to return it to them, even though it will take time and effort and it may not be easy. And the seller, to Shimon Shetach, saw in that an expression, an incredible fulfillment of our Sama looking of our divine image. That's something that God does. Hashem cares about us even when we are not present, even when we are not before Him, even when we are straying. Hashem is always thinking about us and will proactively help us and be kind to us. And indeed, the greatest Meshiv Aveda. We are walking in the ways of Hashem when we return a lost object, because the greatest returner of all lost objects is none other than Hashem. The Gemara says that there are a few things that Moshe declared in the Torah, and the later Nevi'im, so to speak, overruled him. And one of them is that in the Tochacha, in Bechukosai, Moshe says, speaking through Hashem, Va'avadatem ba'goyim, and in the exile we will be lost amongst the nations. We will suffer, they will attack us, we will become lost through assimilation, we will become lost and disappear. But Yeshayahu would not accept that. And Yeshayahu declared, V'haya b'yomahu yitaka b'shofar gadol. And it'll be on that great day when the great shofar will blow. Uvo ha'ovdim me'eretz hashur v'anidachim be'eretz Yisraim. And those that were lost in Assyria, those that were straying in Egypt, Hashem will pick up, Hashem will return them. It is true on a national level. We have full faith that Hashem will return us even if we stray, even if as a nation we become lost. And it is true as people, as individuals. El is a time of returning. We seek to return ourselves, and we hope that Hashem will reach out and return us. The same Gemara quotes the pasuk from Tehillim, in which David declares, and we can all relate, Ta'iti kasa oved, I have strayed, and I'm like a lost sheep. I'm lost from the flock. The sheep is all alone. He doesn't see the shepherd around, but he's trying to return. Maybe he left to find water, but now he realized he can't get back. Bakesh avdecha, search out for your servant, Hashem, my master, my shepherd. We are each sometimes like a lost sheep, but we have a shepherd who is looking for us and who will find us and who will return us to the flock. This Ella, we are hoping to be returned to Hashem, for Hashem to return us. There may be certain aspects of our lives that even if we do not feel lost, but we feel that we have lost certain aspects or things or people in our lives. Maybe there's a relationship that unfortunately is not as good as it used to be. Maybe there's a certain kind of joy and energy that we have lost, a certain connection. We daven during this time of year for those things to be returned to us, to be restored, to be rejuvenated. And so this will let us try to live up to the great messages and values of Hashavas Aveda, to be people who care about others, who want to be kind not just when they are asked or not just when someone is around us or when we see the problem, but to proactively, if we realize there's a way we can help, there's a way we can help someone, we can restore to them some amount of joy or dignity or opportunity in life. Hashavas Aveda is the mitzvah of proactively going and getting something to help someone, even though they're not here, even though they didn't ask me. And if we can think of something like that, one thing, that is such an incredible merit to appear before Hashem with on Rosh Hashanah. And in that merit, Hashem should return us, should restore us. It should be a time of tshuva and Hashavas Aveda. If we feel lost in any way, Hashem should help us find our way back. If we feel anything in our life is missing or has become lost, Hashem should restore that. We should fulfill the mitzvah of Hashavas Aveda in all of its lessons, and Hashem should restore and return to us everything that we daven for. Shabbos, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom.